Hey everybody, Travis Bowman here. I'm a fingerstyle guitar player and retro video game nerd. I'm here in Hot Springs, Arkansas for the Arkansas Retro Expo. We've already been walking around a little bit. There's a lot of cool stuff here. We got some interviews for some people asking what's the coolest thing that they have at the expo. So I'm really excited to show that to you guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the Arkansas Retro Expo. Let's do it. Can you show me the coolest thing that you've got for sale?
Yeah, for sure. It's either gonna be the Chester Cheetah's Wild Quest or the Monsters.
Oh, Real Monsters, yeah. So there were two of those Chester Cheetah games on the Genesis. I don't know anything about the Super Nintendo, but I remember that there was another one on the Genesis. But I think this one's pretty difficult to find, right?
It's
especially
pretty
complete in
rare,
box.
And this one's like sealed. This has a factory seal on it.
Oh, okay.
And you can see like it's got the faded little bar tab. I think it's from a Kmart or something like that.
Okay.
From
Cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I also really like that Pokemon Emerald strategy guide right there
that
too.
was my second pick. Right?
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Can't go wrong with Sonic and Knuckles complete in box. That's the one that I'm missing from my Genesis collection right now, so that's really cool to see. Yeah, good to see you. Yes, sir. I came over here to ask you a question and put you on the spot.
Okay.
Tell me what's the coolest thing that you have for sale by far today?
Ooh, it's probably something Jason brought. I think we've got a few box NES games over here, but this stack up is probably one of the more rare items.
Yeah, that is really, really cool. I was gonna vote for what you had your hand on the whole time, man.
Oh, really?
That Sega CD carrying
Well, it's
case
not
or
the most
the rental
high-priced
case,
item,
but it is cool.
It is very cool.
So you're trying to win me over with the NES stuff, and I'm a Sega guy all the way.
And,
Yeah.
You might love this. A box sealed copy of the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Oh yeah. That is pretty cool. That's sealed from the factory? Yeah, that's cool. Great movie too.
It's a hard find.
Hey, I'm Travis.
Steve Smith.
I'm just asking everybody what's the coolest thing they got at the booth.
Me personally,
Yes, sir.
this is my favorite artwork of Charizard. It's also on Blaine's Charizard, but that's my favorite artwork. Probably the coolest thing we have. A lot of people have been blown away by the Odyssey 2 in box.
Odyssey 2, yeah.
Yes.
You don't see it a lot.
You don't.
But when you do it, it's cool.
And what blows a lot of people's minds when I tell them about the one in box, the one next to it is actually got the voice attachment on top of it.
Oh, yeah, that's
so,
cool too.
I mean, early 80s, something's talking to you in a robot voice, right? So
That is really cool.
that was amazing back then.
Where are you guys based out of?
Nash, Texas, Texarkana, basically.
Okay, sure.
So it's right there. So
cool.
we're mom and pop game shop out of Texarkana. We're collectors that open the store. So we appreciate the hobby. We love the passion about it, the history about it, and anything to do with it when it comes to cards, toys, games, and just the overall history of the era.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. What's the coolest thing you have for sale over here?
The coolest thing to me is my inbox backwards compatible 4-port PS3.
The OG.
The OG,
PS3.
the very first one. You could play PS1, PS2, and PS3, and it played Blu-rays. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
For I think $600 at the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money, but it's still pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I do like this Pee Wee's Playhouse Cherry right here. Yeah, that's not it's not creepy at all, is it?
You're so gray right now.
Thank you.
He's so gray. Get the fit. Gray shoes, gray pants, gray shirt.
I'm just trying to blend into my surroundings.
And it was all gray.
Yeah. You got a lot of cool stuff here, complete in box is what it looks like. I want to know what's the coolest thing that you have for sale today? In your own opinion, of course.
Probably, in my opinion, the best condition Ruler Rose for PS2 that I've ever seen.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, we had that, and then you gotta love the classic Conker's Bad Fur Day. Conker's Bad Fur Day is great.
That looks like brand spanking new. in the
Yeah,
box.
we had it all came from like one person too.
Okay.
So they had a crazy collection.
I gotcha. Yeah, you got a lot of really cool stuff, man. Really cool stuff. But I have to point out this right here. The best game on the N64, Hybrid Heaven. It's so good, dude. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I love this game so much, man. And that's a really good price for it too. If it's got everything in there, sick. Thank you so much, man.
That's no problem.
So where are you from? Where are you located? All that good
So
stuff?
we're from Northeast Mississippi, a place called Corinth, Mississippi. So about 4 hours away from here.
Cool.
So a little bit of a drive.
Yeah. Ever up in that general direction, I'll hit you up, man. Thank you
we
so much.
appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Have fun. And I have way too much footage of that game as it is.
Oh, really? I've
Yeah, dude.
It's one I haven't tried before, but I'm thinking about it now.
If you can get through the first 15 minutes of it, it's like one of the best strategy games I've ever played. It's just a fighting game, but strategy. It's so good. It's so fun.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Thanks, man. All right, dude. What's the coolest thing that you've got for sale today?
It's actually going to be these Pokemon cards right here.
Okay.
So these are TopSun Pokemon cards. They predate the TCG over in Japan. I believe they came in bubblegum packages. So if you'll notice, a lot of these cards have red and green on them because of the first Pokemon games in Japan were red and green. And then some of them have just one color, like the Victory Bell. The color in the background denotes which version of the game you could actually capture it on. So these are just kind of a cool little history piece for Pokemon. You know, they kind of tie in with the original games, and they also, predate the original TCG. So it's just a neat little thing.
I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but I'm scared of the cards. I'm scared to get into the cards because it's so much money.
Very
and
expensive.
I've already got all the Game Boy games and everything, but that is really cool to see. So this is before the Pokemon cards that we got in the States.
That's right. That's
That
before
is-
the trading card game. Wizards of the Coast, they produced the trading card trading card game first, but that predates them.
That is so crazy. So how much does something like this run for like each individual card? I know it varies depending on which one, but average, what are we talking here?
Yeah,
And
so it really just kind of depends on how popular the Pokemon in particular is. I don't think they have like a rarity system necessarily. So of course, like your legendary birds, ungraded, probably like $40, $50. Your Voltorb, Nidoran, I sold a Magnemite earlier, probably like $10. So they're not super expensive, but they're just a neat little piece of history.
they are, yeah, they're definitely cool. And they're cool to see. I've never seen these before. I've seen lots of Pokemon cards, but nothing like this before. So that is really cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. What is the coolest thing that you have for sale at your booth, in your opinion, of course?
This lamp, actually. It's really cool because along with, just being a lamp, each side is different.
Okay. So this is a 3D print, right? Every single 100% of this has been 3D printed, and this is what you do?
Yes.
Okay. So this is your thing, right?
Yes.
That's so
well, this
cool.
and a food truck, so.
Yeah. But that's super cool, and I love the purple and
It's purples, pinks, like you can really see the background. You can really see everything in it. It's amazing what 3D printers can do now. Because it actually all printed the lithophane. Here, I'll show y'all. You can actually pull it out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is so cool. Now, this has electricity, or you put a candle in there, or
It
what?
is electric.
Ah!
Yep.
That is
Just
so cool.
USB, turn it on and off. It also, you can do it brighter, dimmer, whatever you want.
So, where are you guys based out of, and where can we find you on the internet?
Okay, yeah, you can find us on Facebook at Murphy's Bakery and Burgers. It is a food truck page, but it's also this. We do both of it from that. We are based outside of Stuttgart. I'm not sure if really anybody knows where that is. It's about 2 hours from here.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. It was really awesome to see. Thank you. In your opinion, what's the coolest thing that you have at your booth for sale today?
The coolest thing I have is probably that CIB Ice Blue N64 or the Extreme Green.
The controller. Yeah, that is so cool. Awesome. Yeah. You don't see that every day. Cool. So where are you based out of? You do this as a hobby, or you got a store, or
It's
what?
just a hobby thing. This is only the second time I've done it. So.
Okay, cool. So, impressions?
Oh, a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. The people
Cool.
here are really nice, and
Definitely.
they do a really good job setting it up.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Where are we going next? Where are we going next? I want that Retro Ricky. I want that Retro Ricky. I want that Retro Ricky. I'm having to wait in line for Retro Ricky. Retro Ricky, I'm looking for something in particular.
Retro Ricky, that's new.
Retro Ricky.
All right, what you got?
I want to know what's the coolest thing that you have for sale.
I mean, the craziest thing is probably this.
The Rule of Rose?
It's a Rule of Rose sealed,
Wow.
graded.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, that's got to be up there, right?
It's outrageous, I would say.
Huh.
Okay,
What do
stay.
I have? What do I have other than that? Oh man, I will say this is pretty rare. this Conker game, you don't see at Conker's Pocket. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 even listed.
Yeah,
that one's really
that's
rare.
cool.
Conker's Pocket.
I've never seen it in person either.
Yeah,
Saw
pretty
Conker's
cool.
Bad Fur Day, but not that.
Not this one.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Always, man.
All right, buddy. All right, so as you can see, this is a pretty good-sized expo in my home state of Arkansas. We're in Hot Springs, which is about 45 minutes away from the capital city of Little Rock. And I believe this is either the second or the third time that this expo has happened. Last year it was really successful, but it was very cramped and very hot, admittedly. But this year they've actually moved it to another location inside of this convention center. Much larger room, a lot better AC for sure, and it wasn't as bad this year as it was last year. There was a lot of vendors there, as you can see in this footage. So there's a lot of cool stuff here. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff at this expo, and I'm extremely grateful that we have something like that in my home state of Arkansas. I know some of you guys that are watching this video are probably used to the bigger expos like at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo or maybe like the Midwest Gaming Classic. There's a ton of different expos that have been going on for years, and they're very successful, very large events that have a lot of things going on there. And this is kind of a smaller expo. Retro Rick has an expo in Conway, Arkansas, which is in the opposite direction, and this will be the second time this year in October 2025 that he's going to be putting that on, and that's also very successful. But one thing that I wanted to talk about regarding this particular expo is the pricing. I know this is going to sound very negative, and I promise I don't mean to come across that way, but I have to talk about this. And if you are watching this video, I would want you to know there's a lot of cool stuff there. There's a lot of common stuff, and admittedly there's some rare stuff that you don't see every day too. What's concerning to me is that most of the prices for this kind of stuff, especially, you know, some of the more desirable stuff, not necessarily the super rare stuff, it's sky high. And it's kind of crazy, especially when you compare it to pricecharting.com. Now, if you're not familiar, price charting is the authority that pretty much everybody goes by these days when you're trying to put a value on something rare or expensive pertaining to anything video game related. Usually everybody will check out price charting and see what is the average cost of recent sold listings on eBay. What I'm seeing at these expos, at least in my neck of the woods, is that they take that price and they add 15 or 20% sometimes, which, you know, I get it. This is really rare stuff. This is an expensive hobby. Everybody knows that now. Over the past 10 years, it's gotten very expensive. But what's concerning to me is that, you know, that kind of takes the fun out of it. You know, for example, I was looking for a complete in-box copy of Sonic and Knuckles on the Sega Genesis because I have all of the other Sonic games complete in box, and that would be a nice, you know, mini collection to achieve, at least for me. The prices were just a little too high compared to price charting. And in some cases, not just for this particular game, but I was really taking notice of some particular games that I was really interested in. A lot of times it would be cheaper to buy these games on eBay, including shipping, by the way, rather than pay for them in person at this expo. I saw Sonic and Knuckles twice, and both of those prices on that game were significantly more than what I could find on eBay right now. So to give you a more concrete, better example, this gentleman wanted $109 for his complete in-box copy of Sonic and Knuckles. As of the making of this video right now, on price charting, that same game complete in box is $81. Now I know these people are out to make money, and it costs money to purchase a booth at an expo, but you also have to think of the people that go to the expo to buy things. It costs money to get in as well. It was $10 to enter the expo, which isn't really that much money, but you know, it adds on to the money that you're going to be spending on some of these rare games that are not exactly cheap. I honestly think that this is just a Central Arkansas thing. You know, this is kind of a new situation where we have these expos that are just based around retro games, so I'm trying not to be too harsh on it. Most of these vendors are people that I see quite a bit, being in a very small retro gaming community in a rural state such as Arkansas. But the common thing that I'm seeing is that most of these guys still have the same games that they've had 3 or 4 years ago at their booths for sale, and their prices haven't really dropped that much at all. And they seem to have no problem with continuing to come to these events and trying to sell the items that don't really sell. But I don't know, man. If it was me, I would really have a problem with that. If it wasn't selling, I would drop the price until it does sell, or just go to eBay and deal with the eBay fees. You know, people have the right to charge whatever they want to, and I imagine that some people overcharged at this expo, and people paid those prices because, hey, it's right here in front of me, and why not? I want to take this thing home. This reminds me of my childhood. That's what the expos are all about, you know what I mean? But for me, I would rather wait. I would rather be more patient and try to find a game at a great deal, and I was just missing that here at this expo. I wish I had found more really great deals. And, you know, haggling is a thing. I'm not ashamed of being a haggler. I've done it all my life. I think it's fun, you know. And I always do it respectfully. I always, you know, make sure that I don't offend the person that I'm haggling with, but that's another point. These prices were so high that it would make me seem kind of ridiculous for asking the charting price for a lot of these games, just because that's, you know, 30, 40, maybe even $50 off of what some of these guys were asking for these games and these items. It was cool to see everything, but maybe not so much buying everything here. I still had a great time. It was great to see everybody. It was great to hang out with everybody, and it was a really cool adventure. So after the expo, my curiosity got the best of me, and I got on eBay and started searching for a complete in-box copy of Sonic and Knuckles, and wouldn't you know it, I actually found it for a really good price. What's kind of crazy is that it was substantially less than what people were asking for at the expo, and even with shipping, I ended up getting a pretty decent looking complete in box copy of Sonic and Knuckles for under $60 shipped. Now, this video is not meant to bash expos, or this expo even in particular. All I'm saying is that you should do your research and know the value of the game that you're trying to buy. Just because it's right there in a glass case at an expo waiting for somebody to buy it doesn't mean that it needs to be bought at that expo. I've gotten a lot of great deals at expos and swap meets here in Central Arkansas before, but I just didn't find anything for the right price at this particular expo. It was still a lot of fun. I had a great time. It was great to see everybody, but at the end of the day, I got the game that I wanted at the price that I was most comfortable with. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. What are prices like at your local retro video game conventions and expos, and how do they compare to the prices on price charting or even eBay plus shipping? Are you guys a local, and have you ever been to the Arkansas Retro Expo? Let me know the answers to those questions in the comment section below. I really appreciate you guys subscribing and checking out the other videos I have on my channel. Thanks very much. I'll catch you at the next one. Bye-bye.
Hell yeah. Wow.
Wowzers.
Wow.